I hate intros, Modao Zushi Season 1. Disclaimer, I don't know a lot about Chinese culture and I suck at pronouncing their names. We come in 23 years before the start of our story on a group of cultivators who use magic to hunt evil. They come across a field of bodies and their target / main character, Wei Ying, also known as the Yiling Patriarch. He's the founder of demonic cultivation, so when he drops some flute beats, all the bodies come back to life and fight for him. He's killed by his junior Jiang Chong during the first siege of the Burial Mountains. Wei supposedly possessed an unholy artifact, the Stygian Tiger Amulet, which he destroyed before he died. Now let's jump ahead to the present at Mo Village, where Mo Xianyu is performing a ritual to offer his body to the dead Wei Ying. So Wei doesn't really have a choice and is tossed into his body, then gets kicked around by a spoiled brat. We find out a little bit more about Mo Xianyu. Apparently he is the bastard child of one of the clan leaders and his mom died. He is also known for being a crazy lunatic. The ritual has the requirement of fulfilling the wish of the offerer, but Wei doesn't know what Mo Xianyu wanted. Wei stands up to the brat that was pushing him around and puts him in his place, and then befriends a stubborn donkey who he rides to town. We are introduced to Lan Huan, who is a cultivator that came along with Lang Jingyi to meet with the leader of Mo Village and the brat's mother. They are being briefed on zombies that have been ravaging the villagers and are planning to lure them in and slay them. When nighttime rolls around, the brat, his mom, and friend are all killed and zombified by a demon arm. This coincidentally fulfills the requirements for the ritual because Mo Xianyu wanted those three dead. The zombie mom has the demon arm still attached to her and is putting up a good fight, giving the cultivators a run for their money, which cues the introduction of Long Zhan, or Wang Ji, in the last scene. Episode 2. Wei seems to know Wang Ji from his past life and doesn't want to run into him, so he dips with his donkey Little Apple, which kinda sounds like a failed rapper. While fleeing, he runs into a net trap that captures the donkey. Jin Ling set the trap, and we find out that Mo Xianyu is a part of the Jin clan. Wei makes a comment about Jin Ling's mother not teaching him to respect his elders, which sparks a fight. It's not much of a fight, and Wei restrains him, but then Ling Jing's uncle and the one who killed Wei in his prior life, Jiang Chong, shows up. They prepare to kill Wei because he was using demonic cultivation, but then Wang Ji steps in to stop the fight. Wang Ji warns them that the demonic left hand that killed 3 people in town escaped into the mountains. We also learn that when Wei embraced the dark arts in his past life, Wang Ji was his arch enemy and was always trying to catch him. Wei recognizes Jin Ling's sword because in his past life he knew Ling's parents who were killed. That's why Ling got so triggered when Wei talked about his mother and makes Wei regret what he said. Ling Yuan and Jing Yi end up going the same way while looking for the demon hand. They are arguing since they're from different clans and end up getting into a fight. While they're fighting, they end up in a cave and run into the demon hand that possesses a statue. More cultivators show up to aid in the fight while Wei watches from a distance. Ling is trying to prove himself to Chong by taking down the demon arm, but gets into a pinch, so Wei is forced to bust out the flute beats. I don't think we want to know where he was keeping the flute this whole time, but he summons a ghost general that helps in the fight against the arm. The cultivators manage to capture the demon arm, so now they set their sights on the ghost general Wen Ning. So Wei orders Wen Ning to leave, but Chong still wants to kill Wei because he was using demonic arts. Wang Ji steps in and says that even though he was using the demonic arts, he was helping them, so he's gonna take him back to Lan Clan instead. Episode 3. We jump back 20 years to Wei's past life, where he's hanging out with the younger Jiang Chong. There's a brief introduction to Jin Zixuan, who is engaged to Wei's senior and Chong's older sister. After that, we meet Nie Huaiseng, and they both go inside to find Wang Ji sitting there waiting for him. Wei had broken multiple rules the night before when he tried to sneak in alcohol, and Wang Ji was there and got into a fight with him. Later, when learning more about cultivation, Wei shows his first interest in harnessing resentful energy, but gets kicked out for it. We jump over to the Wen clan territory, who drive out a mysterious entity in the water, but instead of getting rid of it, they push it further downstream to Gusu Lam territory. Wei is caught helping Huaiseng cheat in their studies, so Wang Ji is sent to keep an eye on him. He's under supervision for a month, where he continuously trolls Wang Ji. In the last scene, the water entity shows up in Gusu Lan territory, and a fisherman witnesses it along with a bunch of corpses. Episode 4. Wei and Chong tag along to a Gusu Lan town for the exorcism of water ghouls, and we get introduced to Lan Huan. While chatting up some of the locals, Wei accidentally runs his boat into Jin Zixuan. Zixuan is kind of a pompous douche and insults the Jian family even though he's still engaged to Chong's sister. This causes some tension with Wei, but before a fight can break out, they are attacked by water ghouls. This water ghoul is just going for it. The cultivators deal with the ghouls and then head to a lake that could be the source of the resentful energy. They end up running into a waterborne abyss, which is way out of their league, so they have to prioritize saving lives and retreating. Wei is pulled into the water and is surrounded by the resentful energy. He thinks about how he can control it, but he gets pulled to safety before he can. The cultivators come to the conclusion that the Wen clan is probably the ones responsible and sent the abyss down. The Wen clan has many allies and are very powerful, so they try to figure out how to hold them accountable because denouncing them won't do any good. Episode 5. Wei is caught again by Wang Ji trying to sneak in alcohol, but this time he tackles Wang Ji, so they're both off grounds past curfew. They both get beaten for breaking the rules, so they go to a spring to help the injuries heal. While at the spring, several zombies that were being held captive get free, so they both go to help round them up. Wang Ji gets his horizontal guitar and handles some of them, but Wei got separated from him and is running for more zombies. One of the zombies almost kills Wei, but he manages to stop the attack. I think his golden core was resisting the resentful energy. I'm not entirely sure, but the zombie starts to ignore him. Zheng shows up and sees that he's being corrupted while fighting the zombies. He scolds Wei for taking a heretic's bath and says that the cultivators are gonna kill him. In response to this, Wei promises that he's never gonna do it again. Episode 6. Zixuan is back at it and being confrontational again, talking badly about his soon-to-be wife. He then makes a remark about Chang's father treating Wei better than Chang, even though Chang is his real son. Wei is impulsive as always, so he gets into a fight with him. This is the last straw for Wei, so Chang's father and the head of the clan, Jiang Fengmian, has to come and bail him out. Wei was supposed to be studying there for a year, but isn't welcome there anymore, so he's taken back home. Once there, we are introduced to Jiang Yanli, which is the girl that Wei was white knighting and Chang's older sister. She seems really soft-spoken and nice, unlike Fengmian's wife, Yu Ziyuan, who appears to be really cold and spiteful. Ziyuan shows that she's not exactly a fan of Wei. Luckily, Yanli is there to calm her down and defend him. Later, we find out that the marriage between Yanli and Zixuan was called off because they don't have feelings for each other. Ziyuan is pissed at the decision and blames Wei for the outcome. Wei goes to apologize to Yanli about ruining her engagement, but she seems okay with it because she didn't love Zixuan. Now we jump ahead 1 year to when Chang comes back from studying with the Gusulan clan. In the last scene, Wei and Chang are talking about a discussion conference being held in the Wen clan's Nightless City. Episode 7. On his way to the Nightless City, Wei runs into Wen Ning, who is practicing his archery and is really good. Side note, Wen Ning is the infamous ghost general that he summons in episode 3 to fight the demon arm. Once in the city, he gets to see Wang Ji again, who still hates him. We get introduced to some more of the clan leaders as all of them are gathered there to eat and drink together. We have Nie Mingzhui, who is tilted because the Wen clan had set up the seating so that it looks like they're the leaders of the cultivation clans. He is talked down by Lan Qiren, who points out that Nie Mingzhui has been wanting to take vengeance on the Wen clan because of his father for years. Another one of the leaders is Jin Guangshan, who is also trying to calm him down. The second master of the Wen clan, Wen Chao, makes his entrance and he clearly looks like an antagonist. And finally, we have the Wen clan leader, Wen Ruohan, who joins them to kick off the meal. While the leaders eat, an archery competition is held hunting ghosts for their entertainment. Each clan sends representatives into the arena and whoever gets the most kills wins. Wen Ning isn't allowed to go in because he has distant lineage, but Wei stands up for him saying that he has a good shot. They ask Wen Ning to demonstrate, but he chokes hard, so he has to sit this one out. During the competition, Wen members try cheating and get called out for it, so they shoot arrows at the guy calling them out. Wang Ji is forced to step in to prevent the guy from being killed. After that, Wei tries fixing Wang Ji's headband, which is apparently a big no-no for Lan members, so Wang Ji gets tilted and leaves the event. Episode 8. Ruohan thinks that the other clans are getting arrogant and need to be taught a lesson. The Wen clan launches a campaign, annexing dozens of clans, and whoever they felt wasn't loyal was wiped out. The cloud recesses in the Gusulan territory where Wei and Chang had gone to study was burned down. During the attack, the Gusulan leader was badly injured, and his oldest son, Lan Shiten, was gone. But worst of all, Wang Ji's horizontal guitar broke. You can do whatever you want to the city, but the man shreds. Why would you mess with his dreams? After that, the Wen clan demands that each clan send them disciples, which are basically just held hostage. When they arrive, they are greeted by Wen Chao and the gold digger Wen Lingjiao. The disciples are asked to hand over their swords. When refused, Wen Zhuliu uses his ability to melt away one of the disciples' golden cores. Later on, when they're being forced to work, we find out that Wang Ji's leg was broken trying to prevent the library from being burnt down. After that, the disciples are forced to hunt for a monster in a cave. The gold digger wants to use a girl that she's jealous of as bait, so soldiers are ordered to tie her up and make her bleed. The girl hides behind Wang Ji, who ends up defending her. In response to this, the soldiers are ordered to kill the disciples, and while fighting, the giant tortoise that they were there to hunt shows up. Episode 9. Wen Chao and his men flee from the cave to avoid the monster and destroy the exits, trapping the disciples inside. They think there could be another exit somewhere in the water that they can use to escape, so they start looking for one. Zheng finds where they can pass through, so everybody prepares to leave while Wei distracts the monster with a flame formation. Once the flame formation wears off, the monster focuses on trying to kill Wei, giving the others the chance to escape. After they get outside, Wen soldiers are waiting and fire a volley of arrows at them, leaving Chang as the only survivor. Back in the cave, Wang Ji had to stay behind to help Wei escape. He gets bitten and nearly killed by the monster, so they have to fall back, and Wei helps treat Wang Ji's injuries. Wang Ji thanks him, which was the first time he said anything nice to Wei, so now what choice do I have? I have to ship him. Sorry, Wei Yanli, you've been shipwrecked by those beaming gold eyes. They figure they have to kill the monster to escape, so they start plotting on how to go about doing that. Meanwhile, the sole survivor Cheng is on his way home to get help. Wei acts as bait to go and lure the monster out and find some sort of corrupted sword in the monster. When he grabs the sword, all the resentful energy that was built up starts flowing into his golden core. Now it's his turn to nearly get eaten, but Wang Ji saves his life by decapitating the monster. Episode 10. With the monster dead, Wang Ji starts flexing his musical talents. They end up staying in the cave for 7 days before Cheng could get to them and bring Wei back home. I think we all know what happened after that sweet serenade that Wang Ji put on. 7 days with those eyes, are you kidding me? Something happened. Meanwhile, Chao had taken credit for killing the tortoise. We also learned that Wang Ji's father had died from his injuries. Ziyuan and Feng Mian get into another fight because Ziyuan thinks that he's favoring Wei over Cheng. She claims that he dislikes Cheng because he doesn't like her, and you can't really blame him on that one. There are also rumors going around that he still has feelings for Wei's mom, and that Wei is actually his son, even though there's no proof that this is actually the case. The Wen clan send their loyal prospector over to order that Wei be punished. Since Feng Mian is gone, Ziyuan is acting in his place, so she whips Wei. After that, the prospector commands that she cuts off his hand, and also says that the Lotus Pier will be working for the Wen clan as a supervisory office. Turns out that's not gonna fly, and Ziyuan slaps her and then combos into a backhand, making this the most satisfying scene of the show so far. Episode 11. Zuluo comes to the prospector's aid and goes 1v1 with Ziyuan. Then he just walks out with the prospector while Wei and Chung sit there. Like, get in there, man. What are you guys doing? That was your contribution? You stop him! Xiao's waiting outside of Lotus Pier with the fleet and gets a signal from Gold Digger to launch the attack. A defensive barrier is raised to block the incoming attacks from the Wen soldiers, but Zuluo disables it. Gee, if only somebody had dealt with that guy. Feng Mian is on a ship and sees the glow of the shield in the distance, so he takes some men to go help defend it. Ziyuan sends Wei and Chung away on a boat while giving Chung her lightning ring Zidian. The ring keeps them bound for a duration, but when they get free, they go back to find Ziyuan and Feng Mian were both killed. Chung blames Wei for their deaths because Wei helped Wang Ji defend the girl in the caves. Episode 12. Wei and Chung are in hiding and trying to make their way to Yan Li, who was on a trip when the attack happened. Wang Ji and his uncle Cheatin both agree that they need to find a way to unite the clans against the Wens. Wei goes to look for food and Chung leaves to go back to Lotus Pier. Wei has to go looking for him and finds him in bad condition being held by the Wens. He's trying to escape with him when Ning, the archer that he vouched for at the competition, gives them a place to hide. Ning's sister comes in and finds them. She's a doctor and decides to help them so Chung doesn't die. When Chung wakes up, he tells Wei that during the fighting, Zuluo had destroyed his golden core, so we can't use cultivation anymore. Wei tells him that he remembers Bao Shan San Ren, who was his mother's master. He tells Chung that San Ren will be able to bring his golden core back no problem, so they're gonna go look for him. Episode 13. Wei and Chung make it to the mountain where San Ren lives. So naturally, the next step is to send Chung up the mountain blindfolded by himself. Wei is just chilling at the bottom of the mountain waiting for him to return. Zuluo sneaks up on him and tries to melt his core, and then Chao stabs him. They take Wei with them and throw him into the Yiling burial mounds, which is swarming with resentful energy. Jump over to Wang Ji, who runs into his older brother Shi Chen, who was still missing after the Wens attacked Cloud Recessus. A meeting is held with the leaders of the clans to try and convince them to join together and fight against the Wens. Chung makes his reappearance at the meeting to do his part in rallying the clans together. They're hesitant at first, but Shi Chen reveals that while he was gone, he had rallied an army from the men who were victims to the Wen clan. This is enough to convince the other clans, and they become allies, launching the Sunshot campaign. Now we're gonna hop on back over to Wei, who is being consumed by the resentful energy and having hallucinations of his life. Episode 14. The start of the Sunshot campaign wasn't looking so good, but then Nie Minjiwei wins a decisive victory and kills Ruo Han's oldest son, Wen Xiu, improving morale. Meanwhile, word is getting around that the supervisory offices that the Wens had set up are being attacked by feral ghosts. Wang Ji finds talismans in the battlefield that summon evil, which has never been seen before. Chung gets reunited with his sister and tells her that Wei is still missing. A Wen scout finds the Jiang clan's hideout, so Chao launches an attack on them. The dumb prospector doesn't want to go to the battle, so she stays behind and is killed by Wei's flute skills. Chao had won the battle against Wang Ji and Chung, but Wei makes an ominous entrance as they're getting cornered in the last scene. Episode 15. Wei uses all of the dead bodies to kill the Wen soldiers until it's just Chao and Zuluo alive. He targets Zuluo first, taking his golden core and smashing it, and then some zombie bros eat him. After that, he targets Chao using the resentful digger to mess him up and then finishes him off by impaling him on a huge resentful spike. After that, they take back Lotus Pier while discussing the fact that Ruohan has sent 10,000 cultivators to attack their borders. To deal with this, Wei wants to retrieve the sword that was in the tortoise cave because of all the resentful energy it possessed. We jump back to the present where Wang Ji and his older brother Shi Chen are talking about the fact that the demon arm was tossed into Mo village by somebody with malicious intent. Wei overhears cultivators talking about the Stygian tiger and seems like he really regrets making it. In the last scene, Wei and Wang Ji are gazing into each other's eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that they're thinking about those glorious 7 days. And after watching this scene, I came to the conclusion that the only thing I hate more than intros is outros.